What are the practical things we need to be aware of when we're thinking about teaching yoga and trauma? Hello, I'm Sarai Monk. I'm a psychotherapist and a long-time yoga teacher. And let's get started. So the main thing really is safety. This is the first and foremost thing. Survivors of trauma are hypervigilant and always on the lookout for danger and get triggered. Now this is part of the body's intelligent response to a traumatic event, and sometimes we get stuck in this sort of hypervigilance and we can be triggered and flashbacks can happen, and part of the healing process is learning how to manage those, and sort of over time those symptoms will subside if treated. So the first thing really is safety, and this is very important, and part of that is eye contact. Not too much eye contact. Eye contact can be very threatening to someone who may have been traumatized by another person, if it was a relational trauma. So keeping the gaze, just being aware of the gaze and not too much sort of looking and staring. That can feel very intrusive and threatening. The other thing is predictability, really important. So the yoga teacher in a trauma-sensitive class will stay on the mat. Often in yoga classes, especially when I used to teach Ashtanga, we used to walk around the class and just help people physically into the poses. Now this is a very big sort of no-no in trauma-sensitive yoga. It's something to be extremely cautious about, and we would always suggest to stay on the yoga mat, because this gives a sort of sense of security, predictability, and safety for the student. They know that they're safe on their mat. They know that you're there and that you're there to help if needs be, but they can be safe in the knowledge that they are going to have an experience that's not going to be intruded upon, and that they don't need to worry about something happening that they don't want to happen. So being on your own mat and doing the class from your mat and not moving, and if you do need to move to perhaps change the room temperature or open a window or open the door, whatever it is, to just tell the class, I'm going to leave my mat now, I'm going to go and I'm going to switch the light on, it's getting dark outside. And just so that there's no sudden sort of changes that could be triggering. The other thing is to really be careful with language, and for the language to be inviting. So sort of rather than saying we're going to do Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees apart, and inhale and exhale folding forwards, rather than that, one might say, and I would, and there's the option now to bring the feet together and the knees apart if that feels good for you. Breathing with your own rhythm, whatever feels best for your body, and then if you like, inviting you to come forwards. You may like to sit upright, you may like to twist instead. Tune into your body, see what feels good for you. So the language is very important. It's invitational, it's empowering to the individual, it's giving the individual the choice to make choices and take actions that are right for them. We can't know how another person feels, so it's really about sort of empowering that internal awareness. We call it, it's a scientific term, interoception. So internal sensing, to sort of know and learn what's going on inside. And perhaps doing a particular pose will bring up a feeling, or a memory will flash up for the student. And always giving permission to let that student do what they need to do if that happens to happen in a class. So always giving the permission, if you want to go into child's pose, you can. And the other thing is sort of grounding techniques as a sort of form of safety. So teaching those grounding techniques in the beginning so that the students know if they do start to get triggered, if they think they're going to dissociate, they know what they can do to ground themselves. And grounding techniques can be breathing techniques, they can be working with the body, sort of clenching the muscles and relaxing the muscles, doing a particular pose. It could be an essential oil that they have next to their mat that they can smell to help. Anything that helps bring one into the body is essential for grounding and halting dissociation or flashbacks. So if you have any questions, do ask me. You can leave a comment below. I hope you liked that. If that was helpful, do leave a comment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time.